Get in. Get in. Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes. Oh man. That was good. Oh. Oh. Get in. 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 Yes.
Was bad as I was talking all that time. No voice. Oh, thanks, Jay. Oh, going back through it. Okay. Uh, wow. Anyway, I can say it again since I have some time before I'm supposed to start. Alright, guys, so this is a charity stream. All the proceeds from this stream will be going back to Alpha Nerds Guild. The way my stream usually works is everything except for donations goes to Alpha Nerds Guild, because I want to give back to a group that has done so much for me. This stream, everything will be going back to Alpha Nerds Guild. Donations and any revenue that we get through the stream. So if you don't know what Alpha Nerds Guild is a nonprofit organization that helps out veterans, Leos, there's active duty in there, there's first responders. They help out everybody. Now, as far as the house, the side of the house that does the consoles, those are for veterans. So I've only been streaming for Alpha Nerds Guild for a few months, but the amount of help I've received from ANG has been second to none. Not only in the fact of the help I get from fellow streamers, but also the peer-to-peer help. You know, sometimes you don't feel like you can go to someone, to a doctor or something like that. You just need someone to talk to. And with all honesty, ANG has been that rock for me when I can't have anyone else there that will sit there and listen. I've had so much help. So this is my way of giving back to the Alpha Nerds Guild community. You know, we have tons of streamers that stream under the Alpha Nerds Guild flag. And when I first started streaming, I said to myself when I made affiliate, I was going to make it a full-time job. Kinda still is, except for the fact that now that I've made affiliate, I'm going to take all the money that's received that I get back from streaming and give it back to the people that have helped me. But, you know, this is a special stream. This isn't going to be like any gaming stream that I usually do. This is going to be purely a build stream. So let's get into it, because I'm itching to do it. I've had this stuff in my house all day, and I've been waiting for it for a few weeks. I ordered it before Christmas, or before the New Year. So I'm going to switch over to my build screen, and I'll show you guys what's going to go on, and we'll get started here soon. Alright, so in front of me, I have two Game Boy Colors. That doesn't matter. That's not getting modified. So, two Game Boy Colors. I've had this one for a while, as you can tell. That screen looks awesome. And the bad thing about Game Boy Colors is those screens scratch bad very easily. Well, the lens scratches very easily. You know, and being the fact that when I was in the military, I had a Game Boy Color that kept on me. it would constantly get messed up with stuff in my pockets. So, I had the chance to get a Boxy Pixel mod. Boxy Pixel, they're a great group. They're out of Ann Arbor, and they gave me the chance to get this actually at a discounted price to do a stream for, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to create, or I'm going to build what would be the ultimate Game Boy Color, as far as you're going to see, because I'm not going to go into the depth with doing the ROMs and all that stuff. I have games that are backed up that I pulled the ROM, but I'm not going to do that. So just to show you guys that this is, everything's working. Screen works. It actually works very well. This, I'm kind of didn't want to do this because of how good this one is, but pretty decent Game Boy Color. This one is mint. This one I am doing a modification to, and I'm going to do the modification in the stream. This one I got lucky. I found this one. It has all the original stickers on it. It has the original barcode. It has the original Game Boy Color sticker, which is a little messed up. But it also has the original Atomic Purple backdoor with the 1-800 number for Nintendo. I don't want to ruin this. Alright, but I am doing one thing to it, and we'll get to that later on. You actually see that part. Yeah! So this screen is really bad. I mean, it's alright though. That's going to be changed. So, let's get to it. First thing, Pokemon Yellow. Man, I think this is like the one game that everybody who has ever played a Game Boy Color has played. Bad thing about it, the original sticker's gone. Now if you notice on the right side, right there, got something special. I did this a couple days ago on another stream I was doing because I had some downtime during the stream because something was loading. But I went ahead and replaced the battery with the new battery. So, for the modification I'm doing, this just isn't going to work. This is way too plain. I mean, it's great. It's nostalgia. But come on, guys. Yellow? That's not going to work. Ooh, let me get this one out of the way. I don't want to modify that one with the parts. And these, come on guys, who has AA batteries in the system anymore? Have they never heard of rechargeable? Alright, but first of all, let's go ahead and take care of this. Pokemon Yellow. One of my favorite games. And actually, yesterday, I got one of the final remaining parts for the Pokemon Yellow case. So, you know, why not make it a little bit better? I did do a little prep on some of these parts. Boxy Pixels does not say you have to do this. It's not needed, but I did put some Captom tape both on the bottom of the case in areas where I know there's going to be connections in metal, and also on the top of the case. Put Captom tape on the top because I do have the battery up there. It's probably the easiest mod ever, but it is a gold anodized aluminum case that Boxy Pixel makes for the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy cartridges. Because the Game Boy Color cartridges were a little bit different as far as the look. They didn't have the notch at the top, whereas the Game Boy did. But I went online and I found a foiled Pikachu or Pokemon Yellow Pikachu edition sticker And now, still usable. Probably even more so. But I'm not going to fear kids trying to bite this thing. I don't think my kids would bite it, but hey. I mean, how's the nostalgia on that? Pokemon Yellow. This is like the ultimate nostalgia trip for anyone that has a Game Boy Color, because that's when they started doing, or they started switching over. Alright, but what everybody comes here for, kids be hungry. They do be hungry. My kids especially. My kids were bad about that. Actually, one of them still is. I swear, if I would let him eat stuff, he would. My youngest, he kind of enjoys eating plastic, and with these systems for the most part being plastic, you know, I could see him chomping down on Pokemon Yellow. His phone's going off. I'm guessing that's, oh, come on, these screws. Now, I would yank everything out, but I don't want to, just in case I need to use any of these screws. I think that the screws that Nintendo used back in the day were a lot better quality than some of the screws that they currently use, or even aftermarket screws that people come out with. These tri-wing, that's one thing I do like about Nintendo, the fact that they use tri-wing screws to keep everything together, to keep modders from getting in. Probably one of my biggest, you know, thank you things about Nintendo, except for the fact that even when you unscrew them all the way, they don't want to come out. Yeah, I'm going to keep everything in somewhat decent order, hopefully. And the Boxy Pixel also, if anyone's ever thinking about doing this, if you go with Boxy Pixel to get your kit, they do give all new screws for everything. And I do believe that they are of way better quality. Alright, so like I said, I did go ahead and I did a little bit of prepping. I did do Captom tape on the cartridge shield. And the only reason I did the prepping like this is because I wanted my Captom tape, or Captain tape, to be perfect when I, you know, unscrewed everything and all that. But if it wasn't for, dude, I'm telling you guys, what's going on? KS, how you doing? Like I said, guys, if it wasn't for Alpha Nerds Guild, I would not be able to stream. I was probably not had made affiliate either. Like, these guys, not only did they encourage me to keep going, but they also, you know, gave me tips every time I was online. So that's one thing I have to keep for the new build. This, I'm keeping it. I'm not throwing any of this stuff away, because I can use it possibly at a later date if I find one that has a messed up case or something like that. Because the Game Boy Color is absolutely one of my favorite. Coco, don't lick my finger. That's weird. I know. You don't like it when Daddy streams because I don't give you attention. Alright. Anyway. Let's see, we have the shield. We got to get this IR. You know what? I'll wait for the IR. Go ahead and pull this out as well. Good old Nintendo PCBs. Or, I don't know why they call them PCB. Like, you literally look it up on the notes that tells you what to do and how to do this, like the instructions, and it calls the main board the PCB. I just started and you're making me stretch. Actually, ow. I'm old and that cracked my back. Thank you, Chaos. Alright, there we go. The quote-unquote PCB is out. We're about to play with molten lava, or molten metal. Alright, power. That stays. And so do these. Yeah. I don't think I've stretched or anything in years. Except my back pop now. That felt great. Oh wait. That was almost a mistake. The IR shield. There's actually a dimmer that is part of the screen that uses that IR shield to hide it. But that's it. That's the only pieces that are being kept out of this Game Boy Color for this. Everything else goes in my part box, because no matter what I modify, I do not get rid of any of my parts, to include my Game Boy, or my Nintendo Switch. Alright, next up. Oh no. 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 I do not miss runs at all. Actually, I think that's the one thing I don't miss about the military, is the runs. My soldering iron's been sitting over there for a while. It should be good now. So that's when I could run. What's bad is I left, when I left Polk and went to Korea, I was running a 13. So I guess those runs that you guys made me do definitely helped me out some. That was fun. I'm trying not to burn myself or burn the board here, because these boards can get fairly expensive since they're not being made anymore. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Like, I can hear it coming out, but it doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's one. That is one power connector. I'm just going to toss it somewhere because I don't want to burn this nifty mouse pad that my fiance got me. Just for fire. Now I did a 13 in Korea, and I've never hit 13 after that. And I partied way too much in Korea, so I probably shouldn't got a 13. Oh, did it come out? Yes, there's number 2. Alright, and that is it for the soldering, at least on the power side. All right. Now here's the fun part. Soju. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you couldn't do soju. Drink it like water. So here's the main reason I wanted to do this. Full aluminum case. And new screws, so definitely worth it. But it's a big but. I do not want to burn myself on this at all. This is I'm not gonna say it's not a expensive mod to do. Technically that's a lie. This is probably one of the most expensive mods I've done on any system. This is all parts and everything probably came to around, shoot, almost 300. Oh, come on. If I can figure out how this goes in, I'll be doing alright. Because they don't tell you. I do have the instructions up as well, just so I can try and figure everything in. Let me find my my screen, actual controller. So this one is this is the most delicate part. Now, the good thing about doing the Game Boy Color mod compared to doing, say, the dang, Jay, thank you so much for all those subs, man. That's awesome. Like I'm speechless right now. I don't know what to say. That's definitely going to go to a good place, though. The thing about this is probably the hardest part of the modification, because this is where everything could go horribly wrong or horribly right. I'm guessing it goes this side down. Definitely go on. Yeah, this is probably the hardest part of the modification, is right here. This is where everything could go either horribly wrong or horribly right. The bad thing about this screen, the TPS screens, they are extremely fragile. TPSs are usually, from what I've seen, used in the very cheap cell phones. So I've seen them break quite a few times. And I am not wanting to break the screen. Like, the amount of time I had to wait for the screen to come in was insane. Granted, it was only coming from the Detroit area, but there were some issues with it actually traveling. They didn't lose anything. It was just, with everybody getting hit with snow right now, it got kind of insane. Oh, jeez. Okay. Trying to figure this out, and I think I did. So I have two, just in case I mess up one. One goes there, and the other goes around. It doesn't go around. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna trust it works. Actually, it does go around. Does it go around or not? Come on. They give no instructions. Let's see. Drop in China LCD. You know what? We're about to add it. Just because I don't want to lose this screen. I don't want it to fall. Especially with how rare these screens are starting to get. It was all last year, all 2020, the company that makes this was completely sold out of the screens. And it wasn't until midway through December that they got them in. So, you know, it's always like a win or lose battle trying to get the TFT screens in, TPS screens in. Because they're used on more than just the Game Boy Colors. These are actually used on the Game Boy Advance modifications. Which, speaking of which, guys, if this stream goes well, I do have the parts ordered for a Game Boy Advance SP. And don't worry, this isn't one of the expensive ones. Like Game Boy Advance SPs, if they are the AGS 101 version, you can find them online for like, I think I've seen them yesterday, up to like $250. This one was actually like $30 because it is a AGS 001. This one has the bunk screen where you have two choices, either on or off. So that's definitely something that will be on the table as well when we get to that point. You know, this is kind of like my thing, my passion right here is building and customizing consoles. And again, if you guys want to, if you do want to donate, or to donate to donate to Alpha Nerds Guild, if you put in ! charity, it will send you a whisper and tell you all the ways that you can donate to ANG. Like I said, every single bit of the proceeds and any money that is earned through streaming tonight will go to ANG. You know, I'm not holding, you know, usually my streams, donations are the only thing that I personally keep, but with my charity stream, every single bit of the proceeds are going to go back to ANG. Trying not to cut myself. Don't mind me, guys. You know what? I just realized I'm not going to need anything to hold this down because it's going to be held down by friction, because the board actually bolts in pretty well. The only thing I will do is I'm going to put one on the very bottom of the screen. Not even that. You know what? They don't say to put it in there. I'm not going to put it in there, and main reason, these are very fragile screens, so I don't want to risk breaking anything. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and install the IPS screen right there. Oh, I'm at it touching stuff that I probably shouldn't. After that, my controller for the screen, flip that over. It's your typical, I'd say your typical Nintendo style Lego connector. It seems like everything that Nintendo uses currently is like a Lego connector. It just snaps in. If I can get it. I think I messed up. Sig, I think you like seeing me in a hat, man. It's all good. I knew you were going to be in the stream, so I prepared. Just trying to make sure my bald head doesn't get cold. I gotcha. It's very thoughtful of you, sir. Alright, I know I didn't mess this up as soon as I started. Oh no. Darn it. I should have connected it first. I don't want to break this screen. This is why you follow directions. Except the directions say to put it on. Good. It didn't stick down. Oh, darn it. Crap. Crap. About to say it didn't stick down that much, but obviously it stuck down a little bit harder than I thought it did. Oh, please. Please. Got it. Oh, let's hope I didn't break the screen. Alright. Here's hoping I did not break that screen. Oh my god. Oh, that would be so bad. Starting to stream and all of a sudden, you know, it's broke. I can't do anything else. But hopefully we're all good. I don't know. I'm gonna hope I didn't break it. There we go. All right. Whew. There we go. There's... Oh, my back. Popping like an old man right now. You ever had that feeling you should check something before you continue? Just to make sure it's not broke. Because I'm getting that feeling right now, but I should be good. Alright. Anyway, let's continue. And realize that I messed up again. One thing I did do, because I wanted it to be a little bit different than everything else that you see out there. You know, it's pretty cool to have a modded Game Boy. But, you know, my personal thought was it would be even cooler to have a Game Boy Color that has probably the best buttons in the world. I ordered the brass buttons. So my D-pad, solid brass, CNC brass. My A and B buttons are solid CNC brass. But these things are friggin' heavy, guys. Like, heavy is no joke. Actually, I'll need that in a second, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. This is my it's my battery modification, and also it holds the USB-C adapter. Alright. I'm looking for parts. It's right in front of me. So I'm thinking A and B go there. Let me look at these just to make sure. B, bottom, A. Yep, that's right. We'll go ahead and throw these back in here. Membranes. And we'll go ahead and start putting this back together again. Now the other thing I did, you can see I did put Kapton tape over this as well, and that is to keep these from shorting out. Real quick, before I continue, I'm going to throw some Kapton tape over this, because I do not want any possibility of this monstrosity to short out on me. And if you think, there we go. If you think for a second that Kapton tape, or that Scotch tape, is hard to find the end on, mess with some Kapton tape and lose where you put the bottom, because it's even worse. Oh well, this doesn't have to be pretty, it's going to be on the inside. There we go. I'll cover that up. Gives no chance of anything shorting out right there. And then from there we'll go ahead and install our Game Boy Color board. After we get the... Alright, so far, so good. I'll go ahead and grab these new screws. I am going to use the new screws on this. I don't want to risk using the old screws and something turning around and biting me in the rear later on. So I am going to use the new screws on this. And from the reviews I've read, their screws are actually really, really good screws. So I'm not too worried about that. Let's see. How does this go on? Just like that. This is why they give you 4. So this completely replaces the bottom. Because used to you could, the bottom would, oh, nope. The bottom would connect via 2 screws, 2 tri-wings that would go right here and right here. But now, because of the back, which is absolutely mad, I don't have those 2 screws. And it does have that hole right there so I can tell when it's charging and when it's done charging. Now this will hold my new system. This will hold the charging system as well. It kind of just snaps in there. So, sorry. There you go. It just snaps in there. It's 3D printed, and it holds down, or it holds this together. No, I don't need anything to tape it down or anything like that. So, that will work. I'm just making sure. 6. 6mm long. And I'm just going through checking everything on here, guys, because I don't want any issues later on with anything falling apart on the inside. Because once I close this thing up, the way it's being modified and everything, I don't want to have to bring it back or pull it out back out. Alright. And this will hold everything together. Yeah, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that does not look like 6mm long. I'm going to go ahead and fasten these down. Usually there's only 3 fasteners to hold it down. But with this new design that they did, or this new design that I'm doing, I think there's a total of 5 that hold the board down. No, there's only 4. Holy crap. They completely changed it. That is absolutely awesome. This makes it much, much easier. I said it makes it easier, and then I put it down in here and it falls apart. Alright. Let me grab those last 2 screws, 6mm long, and I'll get this thing, we'll get one step closer to getting this thing fired up and tested. Yeah, this is actually my passion, is modifying systems, modifying gaming consoles. I've done a lot of like customization, just like painting and stuff like that. But this is where I actually find my zen moments, is when I'm pulling a system apart and creating something that's going to last longer, or something that truly expresses, you know, who I am in a way. That's when I find a little bit more joy. Is in the customization part. Alright. We're good. We should be good with the Kapton tape. I don't think I need any more of that. My makeshift let me build it toolbox, I'm going to set it down to the side. Going to pull out my wires that I had set to the side. for the system itself, which are these, which they might be a little bit too thick, but I think they're actually gonna work fairly well. Because actually, it does give me a lot of room inside to play around with. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. This angle though. It's not the best angle. Transistors and everything right there on the side. Alright. So what I'll go ahead and do is I really don't need that much to get this going. And I didn't want to go red and black for my wires that go from the board to the charger, because I wanted to do something a smidgen different. Battery plus, battery minus, out plus, out minus. Okay. So I'm going to cut off about this much. And I'll do the same for what's going to be my positive wire. Because that's about all I need for each side. And I should have grabbed my wire strippers. But I've been doing so many of these that you kind of learn exactly how much insulation you have for each wire. And it becomes second nature just to clip it little by little and get through it. There we go. Now the other thing I'm actually gonna do is I'm not gonna go straight away with it. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Okay, geez. I'm gonna measure it first, and then I will do it. 1 second, guys. If you type in, like I said earlier, if you type in !charity, that will actually pull up the information for donations to Alpha Nerds Guild, which we are donating all proceeds for this stream to Alpha Nerds Guild, giving back to a group that has given so much to me. Alright, back at it. And I'm gonna have some friends that do electrical stuff for a living, and they're gonna look at me and be like, dude, what the heck? This looks absolutely... What are you doing? Okay, when it comes to like electricity, when I'm working on a car or something like that, or I'm working on something where I need to be precise, I am. But when it comes to doing stuff like this, I'm not going to say I'm less precise, but I basically just get it to going to make it work. As bad as that sounds. And this is just proof why guys need to stop biting their nails. I.e. this guy. Here we go. Alright. Go ahead and get this twisted. No, I'm thinking I should have done this a little bit easier. Make it a little bit easier for myself, that is. Because although this is fun, what am I looking for? A new one. Guys, I have a whole crap ton, metric size, of screwdrivers. And the main reason is, every time I order a kit to upgrade, they send me screwdrivers and such for that kit. So if you're ever thinking about doing a kit to modify a console or a controller, because I've done 2 Xbox controllers, I've done 2 Switch Pro controllers. I just love the whole modification aspect of it. They send you, we'll go through, cool. They send you everything you need to do it. So, you know, don't think that you're not gonna have the tools you need, because 90% of the time, guys, they will send you everything. It's one thing I do love about these companies that do the modification boards, or the modification for systems and everything. They send you absolutely everything you need. Alright, now we're going to go back to this. Go ahead and hit this up with a little fire and molten metal. Oh, hello. It doesn't like me. There we go. There is the negative. Oh, warm. Here's the negative to the body. I think I knew it. Need to eventually get me a new soldering iron. This actually isn't truly a soldering iron. This is a from a wood burning kit that I got from Walmart one year for Christmas. It just allows you to do soldering with it. Next, I need my negative wire, which is probably what I dropped. Not even gonna lie. Like, I have that feeling that's what I dropped, was my negative wire, or my positive wire. Alright, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is measure this out. Hit it up with a little solder. Get it planted to the board. And then we'll move on to the next step. Trust me, guys, this gets easier and easier as it goes on. Done. This is the first time I've done a Game Boy Color, but I've done tons of systems. Most part, I'm just switching out cases. As the newer systems, you either need to stay plugged in, or they have a lithium battery, so you don't have to worry about doing that. But this is the first time I've ever dealt with a modification that you actually have to modify the body itself, or modify the power system itself. And this is positive out right here. Go ahead and sneak that in. Solder it up. And get everything closer to getting put in. Now I'm working with Boxy Pixel. They did not sponsor the stream at all. But I am working with them currently to try and get them to sponsor. And trying to get something like this done once a month, as far as doing a modification to a system, whether it be, well, with Boxy Pixel, the main thing about them is they do metal cases for the systems. So if you're wanting to do the Game Boy Color, you would have the aluminum case, like I'm doing. Their kit for the Game Boy SP is called the SP Unhinged, and it actually turns it from a folding gaming device to almost like a Game Boy Color itself, except it plays advanced games. Who doesn't like that? But they just recently came out with a kit for the Nintendo Switch, and the only thing it is it's not the Switch like you would think. Oh, it's the Switch. No, it's not actually the Switch. It's actually a kit for the Joy-Cons to make the Joy-Cons, well, it's metal casings for the Joy-Cons, so just that much more rigidity in them. I will be honest with you, I have not tried their Joy-Con kit. It's something I do want to eventually try out, because I've heard from people who have used them and reviewed them that it actually adds more usability, and they're not as worried about, a kid grabbing them and completely destroying them or something like that. So that's one thing I do appreciate about Boxy Pixel, is they're making these cool modifications for the systems. I mean, a Game Boy Color that has a backlit screen, that the resolution in it is like twice to 3 times what you'd normally see. But then you turn around and you have the ability. It's retro modding at its best. That's pretty much what I'm going to call it. This is definitely retro modding at its best. I know retro modding for the most part is cars, but I love it. So I will say this. You've seen my Switch. You've seen the controllers I have. The Switch controllers themselves are very delicate. Fortunately, there's no real modification. Besides undoing a few screws and swapping parts over to a new case. It's the same way with the Boxy Pixel mod. Like, they fit in the Joy-Con holder. They're just made of aluminum instead of the plastic. And I don't have it. I'm seriously thinking about getting it, except for the fact that I have the Atomic Purple shell on my Switch, and Atomic Purple is my favorite color, if you couldn't tell by the Game Boys. But in the same aspect, it's longevity. So they work with the grips. They work with all the accessories. They're just going to be metal instead of the plastic. The other thing I hear a lot of people complain about with the Joy-Cons is the Joy-Con drift that Nintendo has been fighting and trying to figure out as well. Like, I don't condemn them at all. Like, what's going on with the Joy-Cons, it can't be helped, and it's because of a design flaw. Oh, snickerdoodles. That was a screw that dropped. Oh well, this is why they give you extra. But the Joy-Con drift. And everybody's like, oh, it has drift. And they're getting mad. It's like, there are ways to alleviate the drift. Or to even, to fix the drift from happening. And I've personally done the modification, or not, it's not even a modification, I'm sorry. I've personally done the fix. I've done it once. Where I've done other fixes using the isopropyl alcohol cleaning, and it's lasted me maybe 30 minutes and I would have the drift come back. I do a cleaner and I spray it down in, or I spray it in underneath the rubber thing, and I've had no issues with my Joy-Cons at all. I love my Joy-Cons. I barely use them because I have my Pro-Cons, but you know, it's, oh, that makes it feel squishy. Sorry. Guys, that's weird. I've never felt metal buttons, but it absolutely makes it makes it feel squishy. It's weird. Hey, Bucky. Thanks for the subscription. I don't know why my stuff isn't showing up. Oh, I know why. Guys, sorry about that. There we go. Alert box is back up. I forgot to add it to this. We're good. We got it now. I think I'm going to have to shave it down ever so slightly. Yeah, it's just this is a trial and error thing. More trial than error. But Chaos, I will say one thing, the Boxy Pixel mods are not cheap, and it goes back to the old saying, you get what you pay for. And I firmly believe that I'm not going to be cheap on something I want to last for a good long time. Granted, I hear they're about to come out with the new Switch. There's been leaks on the designs and everything, but to be honest, I'm excited personally about the new Switch Pro. Alright, I'm actually going to pull these out, and then I'm going to install it afterwards. Once I get everything in here. Probably the biggest thing about this mod is this right here. This is the, actually it's even got their name on it, guys. This is the Boxy Pixel 2000 milliamp hour. It's 3.7 volts. So you think about most batteries are 200 milliamp hours in a pair. I think AA batteries are about 200 milliamp hours each. Doesn't even say. Hold on. Alkaline batteries 1.5 volts. Yeah, it only says the voltage. So one AA battery is 1.5 volts. This is 3.7 volts connected. There's a total of 15 cells, 2,000 milliamp hours. I had an RC card that was I think it was like 300 milliamp hours, and it lasted maybe 30 minutes. And now this, modification is a total of 3,000 milliamp hours. Or, I'm sorry, 2,000 milliamp hours. I will never have to charge this system. Hardly ever. I'm going to have to charge it now because it's brand new, or it's only partially charged from the company, but I'm not going to have to charge. Hardly ever will I have to charge. There we go. There's the right wording for it. Hardly ever will I have to charge the system. But I will definitely, Chaos, I will definitely send you a message later with the information on the controllers, because I myself, I have two biological, well, you know, you've met them, my two biological, and then I have a total of 3 soon-to-be stepkids. So I'm definitely one that wants everything to last, especially when it comes to game systems. But I will hit you up. I'll probably send it through to Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you a link to their page. That way you can have that information. And you know me, if it's not something that is going to work, that I actually believe in, I'm not going to endorse it personally. Like, I don't see a point of endorsing crap that's not going to work, or that you're going to have to replace or something like that within a few days of getting it. It's definitely not how I roll. I'm definitely not going to do that to gain a little bit of money. Like, I've had companies, you'll buy something on Amazon. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. Oh, that's why. It actually clipped down in there. You'll buy something on Amazon, and you'll get that little card that says, hey, review our product, send us an email, and we'll give you $10 back, or a $10 gift card. Like, that just, I don't know why, but that just messes with me. Like, it's ethics. It's like, even if our product is complete crap, give us a 5-star review and we'll send you money. I mean, I understand business, you want to make money, and getting 5-star reviews is going to get you a better rating and everything, but with all honesty, I really have to read the reviews when I buy something on Amazon, or anything for that matter. Because one, that's my hard-earned money that's going to buy something, and if it's not up to spec, I don't want it. Alrighty, so there we go. That's pretty much done. Not really. We are not done. Those buttons just feel so weird. Starting to come together though. I do have my camera bag right next to me, because I know that's going to get to somebody, that it has fingerprints. Like, you guys, oh, there we go. It's got fingerprints. I'm going to get rid of those fingerprints before I put on the lens on top. But I want to make sure before anything I get all this stuff put together. It's battery plus, battery negative. And I dropped another one. Alright, screws. Y'all have to set aside. I can't lose anymore. Please, thank you. Keep losing screws, I swear. I'm not losing them, I'll find them later. Or I have extra screws in places. But I don't want to lose my screws. All I am going to do right here, I'm going to hit this up. Both the positive and negative wire, I'm going to hit them up with solder before I solder them down, just to make it a little bit easier on myself. That way all I have to do is touch them with a soldering iron and Bob's your uncle. They're going to be nice and ready to stick down. Absolutely. And I keep neodymium magnets everywhere. Actually, my fiance got a well, soon to be wife. I don't know why she's my fiance, but we're getting married on the 31st. But she had told me I needed to throw away those car phone magnet holders, whatever they're called. And I said, well, let me grab the magnet out of them, because you never know when we're going to need a good magnet. So she's gotten used to me salvaging everything. Thank you. What do they say? What's the old saying? Third time's the charm? Guys, if you find a good woman keeper, like my fiance, she's actually someone who has told me on numerous occasions to go play your game when I've had a bad day or something like that. Like, she is, when you talk about that woman or that significant other who is your rock, she definitely is. Hot fingers. I need to hold this down because I don't have 3 hands. But guess what? It's where we adapt and overcome. I'm going to put some more solder down on this point right here. I'm going to bring this down here. And good to go. Or not. She loves gaming. So does my fiance. She loves gaming, but she knows how much it's helped me. She sees the positive in gaming, where most people, I say most people because men, women, they only see the negatives of gaming, i.e. back in the 90s, the video games and all that stuff, how they were getting bad reps for the violence and all that. So she has witnessed firsthand how much video games have helped me, not only to connect to people, but also has helped my attitude. Why am I having so much issues? This is where it should be easy, where everything's getting ready to just close up. Burned plastic. Gotta love that smell. Almost. There we go. One down, one to go. That's a waste of time, and unfortunately, she has witnessed a full meltdown due to a cheater. So is mine. Nope. I completely understand that, and my fiance would definitely agree with your wife on that, because she's seen me melt down. And what's bad is the meltdown was over her own son in a game. So it was quite hilarious now that I look back on it. But at the time it was a full straight out meltdown of epic proportion. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. There we go. Alright, last one. This is the next to last one that I have to solder in here. The last one is oh. Yeah, my soldering stinks, and what's bad is I used my my VA stuff to my GI Bill to go to school, and one of my classes was soldering, was electronics, so you know what, I passed electronics. That was one of my highest grades, but it was the simple fact of dang it. I don't know. That electronics was my highest grade. My second highest grade was power and performance. It wasn't a hard course. It was just very much involved. Alright. I'm gonna try and push these wires up and in just ever so slightly. Because I don't want to have the possibility of hitting one of these resistors or it overheating on me. Alright, last two things I have to solder. First, I need to make sure power is off. Then I need to add a little bit of solder to each of these areas. Crap. I just realized something. There we go. Well, at least you're retiring. You know, I got the pleasure of having you over me for what? 2 units ish. So you definitely deserve that retirement. I know the girls will be excited for that day to come as well. Alright. That's the last part. Because I'm nervous. I just hooked up the battery. We are ready to try it out. I'm going to hold the battery. I'm going to find the switch. Oh, that's the volume. No? Oh, maybe it's dead. That would be my luck, right? Ah, no. We lost it. I can't believe they popped off. Ah, darn it. Ah, that positive wire every time. It's starting to scare me. Okay. Dang it. This is the part that gives the most issues. Alright. They're in there now. That's not. Here we go. Oh! Wait a minute. Let me put a game in. Gotta test it out. Oh, crap. Oh, we are... crap. Guys, I have no picture. I have no picture at all. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, we might be alright. We might be alright. I just noticed. I just noticed. Hold on. No, we're not alright. We gotta take it apart anyway. Because my special self forgot something. Oh! Oh! Look at that. Hold up. I got worried for nothing. I still gotta take it apart. We can do that real quick. Oh my god. I got so worried. I thought it was broke. It is not broke. So what happened was the ribbon cable was not fully connected. So it was askewing the screen. If you askew, the view on the screen was slightly askewed. It wasn't giving the right look, so it was acting like the screen was completely, absolutely done. Which now that's actually fixed. Oh man. Oh, that almost gave me a heart attack, man. But hey, Jay, thanks for the host. All right. Whew. Oh, I'm surprised. No one clipped that. That would have been a funny clip. Had me freaking out right here that I forgot something. Oh my gosh. Guys, that was because there is no warranty with this company. Like if something messes up, that's the only downfall of this company. If something messes up, like as far as the screens don't work, your first one they'll replace for free, but the second one they will not replace. So fortunately that wasn't my first one, so we're good to go. We're just going to go ahead and once again tighten everything back down. Make sure everything's tight, but not too tight. I'm going to go ahead and make sure these are tucked. And battery's positioned. Hey, more Kapton tape. No, I'm just playing. Actually, I'm not. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to send an item or a strap to hold everything down. It looks like they no longer include that. This is one piece that I have to replace or send back. Looks like they no longer give that piece to hold it down. So will this fit in? No, it won't. I was going to think of something to do. You know what? What I'll actually do is I'll take the Kapton tape. I'll actually do that, and I'll get it through. That way I do have something at least holding down my battery on the inside, wherever I put the tape at, because I'm constantly losing stuff. My fiance says because my desk is dirty or unorganized. I say it's because of gremlins. I was waiting for someone to say on stream, hey, it's right there in front of your face. Because it was. Alright. So more Kapton tapes coming out. I'm going to do another unscrew one last time. This is the last time I'm going to have to unscrew this. And all this is going to be for is to chuck this under. That way I have a definite way of holding down my battery. And it may not be that pretty, but guess what? It is made by me, for me, and no one's going to actually see this part of it, this part of the mod. Except for you guys. Hey, you get to see the nastiness. You guys are lucky. You guys are the few that will ever see inside of this thing. Guess what happened again? All right. There we go. I'll get these up in there. I'll get this battery up and right here. After I get it unstuck from the Kapton. Go ahead and snip and tear the extra. Try it one more time. Yep, everything still works. Turns on. Shows the classic Game Boy insignia. Throw this back in here. I don't even know if this works. Like, I tried it real quickly, but it didn't seem to do anything. So I don't personally know if this dimmer switch, I guess that's what it's called, actually works or not. If not, then it's just going to be really bright forever. Alright, there we go. Grab my power switch, which they actually, this was the model, or the newer model that came out after March. They made it where you didn't have to do anything to the power switch. You just threw it in, you were good to go. So that's awesome. That's a nice fix. Alright, if they didn't do that, you would have to actually chip away at it, which no one wants to do that. Alright, then we'll grab this bad boy right here. And I think this actually takes the original screws, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the only thing that they kept the original screws. Nope. That's a real fast nope. This takes the little shorties. which are same size. What the heck? I'm not judging. I'm not going to judge them, whatever. It's... They do what they do. They make an outstanding product so far. Like, I've had no issues. The only issues I've had with this product are issues I've made on my own. So, that should tell you how good of a product they make. When it's only user level where you're going to have the issues. Everything's straightforward too. Like, you technically don't have to go off the instructions. Like, I do have the instructions on my left, but technically you don't really need the instructions. Everything's laid out for you. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, you know, that kind of thing. So as long as I don't drop any more screws, I'm good to go. Darn it. That's the one I had trouble with. I don't think it's the screw that's the issue. I think this is probably the only issue with this is it may not have been tapped deep enough, which that could be it could be an issue, but most likely, you know, it's not going to cause a detriment. I do have smaller screws that are this size that I can just drop in there. Because everything's supposed to go in nice and smooth and blah 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 and all that, because the way that the kit's made. But sometimes you do run into an issue or two, so, you know, no hate. That's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, nothing in this world can be absolutely perfect, unless you're willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for it. And then even then, it's not perfect. Like the quote-unquote perfect production race car, which is the Chiron, whatever you want to call it. That car is considered by many the perfect production race car. Unless you're like me, and you can't afford to pay $10,000 for an oil change. Oh yeah, that's what it is. This hole was not tapped exactly right, so it did give a little bit of an issue, but got past that. There we go. Had to back away a little bit. Had to put a little grunt into it, but all right. This is the last part. Why is it not fitting? Is this user error again? It's a little bit of user error. There we go. Pull that back. Push this back on. Alright. Why is it covering a hole? Is that my issue? No, I am covering a hole. I'm actually covering 2 holes. I'm like, why won't it close? Why won't it close? I found out why. Oh, crap. Covering 2 holes. That would be the issue. Did not realize that when closing it, your 2 holes on each side actually hold the board down. Alright. We'll try this again. After I get everything lined back up and put together. There we go. Alright, last try. Everything should fit together like butter now. Keyword should. Well. Up. Whoa, we're getting there. We're almost completely done with this. We're almost completely done after 1 hour and 49 minutes of streaming. We're almost completely done. And I'm going to have to clean the screen because I keep putting my grubby fingers on it. Let's see, and last one up here at the top. I did buy a new lens. So if anybody's thinking about doing this modification, and you go to Boxy Pixel, and you find all your parts and everything that you want, you find your color, anodized, case, all that stuff. Get all that done. It is highly recommended. And when I say highly recommended, it's not just because I'm trying to sell stuff for the company, because I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get any money from them at all. Even if I did, I would still uptalk them because of the amazing product that they put out. But if you're thinking about doing this, one upgrade that they absolutely suggest you do is a glass lens for the front. Now, if you want to do it or not, that's completely up to you. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on buying one. I bought one because of the aesthetics, because of the fact that these screens are so, I'm sorry, not screens, but the lenses are so fragile. Like, if you've been here since the beginning, I literally took my finger and scratched off the screen. But the one thing, like I said, I do suggest is the glass screen. And guys, there's no difference between the glass screen and the regular screen. That's the same screen right there. And yes, I made sure I wiped down the actual screen as much as I could to get any swirl marks or anything out of it. So you just take the glass screen, you put it over, settle down. I'm going to take my lens cleaner again. It's not going to work because this is plastic and stickiness from the tape that they had over it. If I was doing this right now, it would scratch the screen up terribly. But it's not. That's the reason I go with the glass screen. Alright, so there we go. That is... There we go. Look at that. That is a brand new Game Boy. Only thing I don't like, the buttons they feel squishy. But it's fired up. Let's see how much better the screen looks compared to the way it did look. Again, those of you who were here from the beginning, you saw this. Those of you who did not get to see this from the beginning, this is the gold anodized aluminum case for the Game Boy games. I'm going to pop that in, I think. Yep, there we go. And turn it on. Oh, wait. Guys, it's hard to see. I'll pull it up to this one. How much better is that? Guys, that's like top notch. This is a brand new Game Boy. Like, this is no longer... There we go. That is what's up, guys. That is the Boxy Pixel Game Boy Color. Anodized, or this is the clear anodized case, is with the brass buttons, with the IPS screen, with the cartridge modification, the battery, the USB-C charging board, all of that, guys, right there. Like, it honestly, it doesn't do anything for, it doesn't change it. Like, this doesn't, like, this doesn't do it justice. There we go. It doesn't change anything. Yeah, it's gonna go through it again. There we go. Hold up. I mean, it's blurry on here, guys, but it is absolutely... Like, the picture quality is 9,000% better. Like, this is the way the Game Boy should have been. I'm excited that I got to share this with everybody. I'm really excited I got to make this my charity stream. Like, I feel like this was probably the best way to give back to Alpha Nerds Guild, is by doing something I really loved, and that's by modifying consoles. Like, you guys don't understand how much joy being able to modify these consoles gives me. So, you know, for me to be able to come on here and modify this and share it with all of you guys, it means a lot. And the fact that I was able to, you know, every single bit of revenue that is going to be made through this stream tonight is going back to Alpha Nerds Guild. You know, these guys have done so much for me. And yes, it makes me tear up that I actually had this chance to do something to try and get back to Alpha Nerds Guild. Because, you know, when I couldn't afford presents for my kids, they helped me out. When I was going through a really, really dark time in my life, They helped me find out that video games was something that really helped me out as far as a way to escape that trouble, those issues. You know, um, they've completely helped me out, and it's not just me saying that they've helped me out. Like they've helped me out more than they know. Like and I know there's a few streamers and a few people that are with Alpha Nerds Guild, and even, you know, friends and family that are with that have seen what Alpha Nerds has done to help me out, and they realize how much these guys have done. So I plan on doing another charity stream. I do have, like I said, I do have the parts that are coming in for the Game Boy Advance SP. This is not the one that is highly sought after. This is the AGS 001, which has the screen that sucks. It only turns on and off. The Game Boy SP that's highly sought after by collectors, that is very expensive, is the AGS 101. I didn't want to modify a 101. So just to give you guys a clue on, you know, what I will be doing with this SP, I'm going to do the screen mod because that's bonk. I don't like the fact that I only have 2 light levels and I can barely see it. But I'm also adding in a bigger battery. I'm changing out the case and the buttons just to give myself something a little bit more personal. So again, guys, you know, I'm gonna cut it here, mainly because I got to get the kids to bed, and I need to clean up just a little bit before the fiance gets off work. I promised her I would, but you know what, guys? I seriously want to say thank you. A huge shout out to everybody who subscribed. Huge shout out to Jay. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you so much for you know, putting at the donated subscriptions. Thank you so much for the host. Thank all of you guys who ended up coming and sharing your time with me while I did this modification. Big shout out again to Alpha Nerds Guild. You know, you guys have helped me out so much, and I'm glad I was able to help out by doing a charity stream. You know, this means a lot to me. It's no longer a job, and it's not a hobby. It's my way to give back to everybody else. If you guys do want to stick around and see some gaming, let me see something. I may be hopping on and switching up and playing a game. Completely depends on... Yeah, I had nothing on my desk. That was great. Depends if... or what's going on online. Ow. Had my sound on. Let's see... Who is on? You know what? Actually, let's do a raid. I will. You know what? I will do EVE. I will hit that up probably next. But you know what? Let's help out. Let's raid a channel that has truly supported me, guys. We're gonna raid Sig, who's probably still watching. But he's playing Phasmophobia, and he's probably one of the biggest influences to help me out with my stream. He actually did a lot of my my opening scenes. But anyway, guys, thank you again. I'm going to switch over to Sig. Y'all have a wonderful night. Stay safe.